I'm going to be aggressive because nobody wants to hear this, because what you want me to say today is actually being a single mother is totally possible. It actually isn't. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one. Number two, single biggest determiner of whether a mother is a good mother, what do you think it is? This is going to blow your mind when I tell you the answer. Whether they have a supportive partner. The major argument for good dads is actually, can the dad be there for the mom? Because it's like a direct chain is what we see. What you see is that if you've got a father figure, basically, who's supportive to the mother's energy goes towards the children. But the second that she doesn't have that supportive energy, she collapses, is what happens. And then the kids get starved. And we're not actually supposed to be living in a single-family household, so it's supposed to be a lot more support towards mom than just dad. But I'm going with standard societal structure. You are a victim of a society that was never meant to work this way.
Feminism has established a set of principles encouraging women to break free from traditional gender roles. It urges women to express themselves in any way they choose, whether through their clothing, behavior, speech, education, or career goals. This movement also promotes a perspective that can sometimes view men as opponents. However, it's important to recognize that not all women identify with these principles. Some women deeply value men and aspire to create families and homes through marriage, without placing primary focus on their careers. These women take pride in fostering a loving, nurturing environment for their husbands and children. They hope to avoid a future of loneliness, bitterness, regrets, and cats. These women often find themselves at odds with mainstream feminism, as their values diverge from the accepted feminist doctrine, sometimes seen as a form of betrayal in leftist circles. For these women, embracing radical feminism offers little value. A Single Mom's Perspective. Voiceover by Tilda C. I clearly remember watching comedian Ali Wong, who humorously shared her frustrations with feminism. She joked that she thinks feminism might be the worst thing to happen to women. She said that our job as women used to be no job, and we had it pretty good. Life was comfortable. We could have kept going this way for another century, right? But then all these empowered women came along, boldly declaring, "We can do it! We can do anything!" And suddenly they changed the game for us. At first I was a little skeptical while watching this, but eventually Ali Wong won me over. Of course, we've always known that women are just as capable as men. But is it really wise to let everyone in on our little secret? Thanks to feminism, I sometimes feel guilty when a kind man offers me his seat on the bus. I mean, who wants to stand when there's a comfy seat waiting? But there's always that voice in my head asking, should I let this guy know that I can stand just as well as he can? Does he realize that? It makes me question why I even need to think about it. If we women truly want to get this right, maybe we should consider staying quiet, reclining in those seats, and letting men do the heavy lifting, literally. They can handle the work, bring home the bacon, and protect us. And if something goes wrong, do we really want to take charge when we could simply faint and let a man handle all the challenges and drama? Our sisters from past generations had it figured out. But then, feminism came along, tearing down that well-established facade women had maintained for centuries. Now, let's not mistake this for immorality. Most men actually enjoyed doing everything for us. It made them happy. Sure, there were occasional individuals who would ask, why should women just stay home and do nothing? Can't they do the same work we do? But those were the exceptions. In my view, it's not too late. We can still fix the consequences of a few decades of feminism and return to the good old days when men did everything for us. That world was better for everyone. Now, I'm a single mom, with a master's degree, a career as an architect, and a passport filled with stamps from solo travels. Yes, I am a glaring victim of feminism. Feminism today. Regular voiceover. Contrary to what many believe, there isn't a single unified feminist movement today. Instead, a variety of socio-political groups adopt the feminist label. Their beliefs can differ significantly, leading to internal divisions. For example, some groups are inclusive, recognizing transgender women as women, while others believe they remain men even after undergoing gender reassignment surgery. Some factions advocate for a highly radical form of feminism, even calling for the subjugation or elimination of men. Others adopt an extreme us versus them mindset, ironically making them vulnerable to infiltration by imposters or predators. Additionally, certain feminists have shown objectionable behavior. For instance, a British politician was caught laughing during a discussion about the male suicide rate. Most ordinary women, if asked, would not support versions of feminism that endorse such figures or extreme views. However, since all these groups and individuals claim the label feminist, this often leads to a negative perception of feminism as a whole. A scenario. Imagine a small gathering of women, diverse in their backgrounds and experiences. Among them is Sarah, a woman who has always valued traditional principles. Sarah believes in family and dreams of creating a loving home for her future husband and children. For her, marriage is sacred, and her greatest ambition is to nurture a family. As the conversation turns to feminism, several women in the group passionately discuss the feminist movement's principles. They support challenging traditional gender roles, advocating for independence, and pursuing ambitious careers. They emphasize the importance of viewing men as equals, rejecting traditional dynamics. Sarah, however, remains silent, feeling more and more out of place. She wants to embrace traditional roles, become a homemaker, and support her family with love and care. As she listens, Sarah begins to feel like an outsider, as if her dreams aren't valid within the feminist framework. She knows the feminist movement claims to support women's freedom of choice, but can't help but feel alienated. She's concerned that the feminist orthodoxy they discuss with so much passion disregards women like her. Misandrist movement. The feminist movement is facing growing criticism for being perceived as evolving into a misandrist movement. Feminism originally aimed to challenge traditional gender roles, advocating for women's independence in areas like clothing, career, and education. However, the idea that feminism promotes misandry, hatred of men, is gaining traction. Today, the feminist narrative encourages women to abandon conventional gender roles, seeking the freedom to make choices about their careers, attire, and personal lives. It pushes women to go to college, enter the workforce, and build successful careers, even if it means viewing men as adversaries. But it's crucial to remember that not all women aspire to this model. In contrast, some women genuinely appreciate the companionship of men. They want traditional roles like marriage and starting families. Their identity isn't bound to a career, but to creating a warm, loving home for their husbands and children. They take pride in these roles and don't envision a future filled with loneliness, bitterness, or a home full of cats. Ironically, women who hold these values often clash with the mainstream feminist community. They deviate from the movement's accepted norms, and from a leftist perspective, they are seen as committing the ultimate betrayal of established beliefs. As a result, these women often see little benefit in identifying with modern feminism, which they feel has strayed far from the principles and values they hold dear. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.